who is away in the United States of America, and some ministers, including those of Culture, Art and Creative Economy, Anatu Musawa, and the Minister of Tourism, Lola Adejon, among others. Last Monday, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammadu Idris, announced that the council meeting will now be held on Mondays as against the previous schedule of Wednesdays. Idris explained that the council may not meet every week, but only when there are pressing issues to be discussed. President Tinubu on Monday affirmed that the student loan scheme he approved on June 12, 2023 would go live in January 2024. He also promised that episodes of industrial action by academic staff unions of tertiary institutions would become a thing of the past. Tinubu, who elaborated on his administration plans to stabilize the economy through the collaboration of all stakeholders, especially the private sector, also noted the need to immediately initiate a sustainable credit scheme. As well, a 7-member panel of the Supreme Court will today hear the appeals by Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi challenging the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Court, which affirmed President Bola Tinubu's election. Members of the panel, which are yet to be unveiled, will hear the appeals by Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party's Peter Obi, and the Allied People's Movement (APM), challenging the election of Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). The Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja, headed by Haruna Samani, has ruled that Atiku and Mr. Obi failed to substantiate their separate claims of widespread electoral malpractices during the conduct of the 25th February presidential election by Nigeria's Electoral Commission (INEC). The court also dismissed another petition filed by the APM on the ground that the suit was lacking in merit. Atiku, Obi, and the APM all filed separate appeals to challenge the decision of the court. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has struck out the appeals by the Allied People's Movement (APM) seeking to nullify the election of President Tinubu. The party had claimed that the placeholder nominated by the President, Ibrahim Masari, was not replaced within the 14 days stipulated by Section 33 of the Electoral Act. At the hearing on Monday, the lead counsel for the party, Chukwuma Machuku Ume, told the court that their appeal was not premised on double nomination. He insisted that the Vice President Kashim Shettima was illegally nominated. The Supreme Court has reviewed judgment in the appeal filed by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, against the tribunal's judgment affirming President Bola Tinubu's election. The 7-man panel, led by John Ian Okoro, after listening to the submission of the parties involved in the matter, said the judgment date would be communicated to them. Adopting his address, Obi's lead counsel Levi Ozoko urged the court to hear the appeal. INEC lawyer Mahmood, while making his submission, urged the court to dismiss the appeal, adding that it lacked merit. Adopting their addresses, Tinubu's lawyer Wole Olanipeku and his APC counterpart Akin Olujimi urged the court to dismiss Obi's appeal. The panel, led by Okoro, said this appeal is reserved for judgment until a date to be communicated to the parties. As well, the Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal by Smart Adeyemi against the judgment of the lower court on the All Progressive Congress (APC) governorship primary election in Kogi State. Adeyemi had asked the court to nullify the primary election of the APC, which produced Usman Ododo as the party's candidate for the forthcoming governorship election in the state. The court, in a judgment delivered on Monday by Justice Emmanuel Ajim, also ordered that the sum of 1 million naira be paid to the first and third respondent in the matter. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, says it is necessary that all buildings and building other construction owned by government or private individuals should have insurance cover. The minister made this known at the National Insurance Conference in Abuja. The minister, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Okonkwo Udo, says insurance remains an indispensable element in ensuring comfort, mental and financial stability in the society, as well as the sustainability of the economy. Kikelamo Okere completes the rest of the report.
Over the past 49 years, Nigeria has recorded 533 building collapses. This is an average of 11 of such tragedies per year. According to reports, an estimated 36,000 buildings faces impending collapse in the country. The Minister of Finance says potential of insurance sector must be effectively unlocked so as to stimulate insurance sector in the country, adding that there is need for citizens to imbibe insurance culture so that succor by way of indemnity is available at all times for unforeseen events.
We are mindful of the competitive needs of the Nigerian populace to imbibe insurance culture so that succor by way of indemnity is available at all times of unforeseen events, old age, and permanent disability. The era of government providing support for victims of insurance risk has become unsustainable. Therefore, it is necessary that all buildings and buildings under construction owned by government, companies, or private individuals have insurance cover.
Stakeholders in the insurance sector says insurance has a strategic role in the country's future and development. A healthy, trusted, and innovative insurance sector should be the mechanism for creating savings and channeling these savings into infrastructure investment in the country. Adding that the Insurance Act of 2003 needs to be overhauled, saying there is need to pass the bill and ensure that the new act can drive the implementation and enforcement of compulsory insurance in Nigeria.
Prompt settlement of claims. Proportionality must be exercised and we must bring discipline to the sector. Our regulatory mantra going forward must be that everything under insurance should be less onerous, less tedious, less difficult for our customers and for our practitioners. We must address the reasons we are failing to enforce insurance on public buildings in Nigeria. To me, it's an indication of much wider issues within the insurance industry.
To improve penetration rate in insurance penetration, so to say, in Nigeria. Nigeria's economy is large. It's larger than the countries I've mentioned. But we are still doing a lot of physical deployment of transactions that we do.
The Chief Commissioner for Insurance and Chief Executive Officer, National Insurance Commission, says the Commission under its leadership has remained resilient and focused on implementing initiatives that will foster development of Nigerian insurance industry, as well as align its fortune with that of the nation as the Africa's largest economy. It says the industry premium income between 2014 and 2022 grew at average of 13.6% from a premium income of 282 billion naira to 726.2 billion naira. The total assets of the sector also grew at average of 12% for the same period, from an asset base of 827.5 billion naira in 2014 to 2.33 trillion naira in 2022.
Your Excellencies, Your Right Highness, ladies and gentlemen, the Commission has also continued to provide financial assistance to tertiary institutions in Nigeria to facilitate the education of professionals required by the insurance sector. We call this our own backward integration. Notwithstanding the growth that has been sustained, the roadmap enumerated some of the challenges affecting the desired growth of the insurance industry, which have persisted, such as talent gap, comparatively low public awareness, insurance affordability, lack of trust and confidence in insurance, cultural and religious biases, inadequate distribution channels, low enforcement of insurance and others. In terms of its performance, Your Excellencies, the industry's premium between 2014 and 2022 grew at an average of 13.6%, from a premium income of 282 billion to 726.2 billion in 2022.
The 2023 National Insurance Conference is tagged Redefining Safety Insurance, Solution for Public Buildings and Buildings Under Construction, is aimed at providing an opportunity for practitioners and regulators to come together to have a frank discussion on the state of the industry and agree the course to a sustainable, ethical, professional industry. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Yeshua Ahmed, has stated that his administration is committed to sustenance of the cordial relationship the NYSC has with the media. The DG stated this during a media workshop organized for NYSC top management and state coordinators in Abuja. Global TV's correspondent Subarat Usman was there and she tells us more.
The DG said the NYSC will leverage its relationship with the media to deepen media partnership as they provide a veritable platform for the publicity of the activities of the scheme.
Consequently, your actions or inactions in respect of issues affecting the NYSC can impact the scheme positively or negatively. Equally, what you may regard as a minor issue or incident may be escalated by the media without proper engagement and can easily go viral in the social media.
Meanwhile, the Director of Press and Public Relations, Mr. Eddie Megwa, said the training is in line with the Director General's desire that the corporate image of the scheme is adequately protected through robust engagement with the media.
Will be scintillating, rewarding, and will sure open a new chapter that will boost the revered image of our dear scheme. This training is in line with the Director General's desire that the corporate image of the scheme is adequately protected through robust engagement with the Fourth Estate of the Realm, which constitutes variable partners in progress with the scheme since the inception of.
While speaking on the topic, optimizing media relations to enhance the corporate image of the NYSC, the President, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliaku, advised NYSC management, especially the state coordinators, to create more robust relationship with media practitioners in order to consolidate on the positive image of the scheme. Shobra Usman, Global Television News, Abuja.
Again, the federal government has signed a 1 billion naira deal with telecommunications company IHS Towers to build learning communities across Nigeria for the 3 million technical talent programs. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosu Tijani, announced the partnership on his X account on Monday. Tijani revealed that the 1 billion naira funding received from IHS Towers encompasses not only financial support, but also commitment that covers the salaries of 37 dedicated learning community managers for each location over the course of the next 3 years. The program aims to generate a pipeline of technical talent in line with President Bola Tinubu's vision of creating 2 million digital jobs by 2025. The ministry will select individuals who have expressed interest in acquiring specific skills and will cover the expenses associated with their training. The technical skills include software development, UI, UX design, data analysis and visualization, quality assurance, products management, data science, animation, AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, game development, cloud computing, and DevOps. The Ajaokuta Steel Mill, Nigeria largest of its kind, has been largely inoperative for decades, a development that has denied Nigeria billions in earning. In this special report, Global TV Sharon Ajay samples opinion of Nigerians.
A cross-section of Nigerians has reacted to the announcement by the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Prince Shaibu Audu, assuring of the federal government's commitment to complete the Ajaokuta steel construction project, which is said to have the potential of creating 500,000 jobs for Nigerians. Nigerians have aired their views concerning the issue of the ongoing Ajaokuta steel construction project. For a steel complex that has been comatose for decades, many Nigerians are full of expectations, and it serves as a test of government's resolve. However, Edward, for instance, does not find the story particularly inspiring.
We've heard so much about Ajaokuta steel, and it's like at a point we're beginning to lose hope. But because hope is the essence of life, we believe that this government, or whatever successive government, should do something about it. But Nigeria needs it, and Nigeria is more important than anybody. So we are believing that because of humanity, we need it. We can't continue to be stagnant. We need to move forward.
Roberts, on the other hand, expresses optimism and advises Nigerians to keep hope alive while constantly believing in and supporting the government.
The time has come for us to actually believe in the words of Mr. President. You understand, he's a pragmatic person. He's focused, and he has direction. And he has armed himself with technocrats. And I believe so much in the words of the Honorable Minister, who is a representative of the President of the Republic of Nigeria. And also, you have a permanent secretary, you understand, in that ministry that is a technocrat. And I believe that they will swing into action very soon.
For Wasil Awar, a civil servant, more commitment to the Ajaokuta steel complex is expected of the government, considering the need to industrialize Nigeria in order to encourage local production.
We have the natural deposit of this steel in Nigeria, so it cannot just be wasted, cannot be moribund. If the other subsequent previous administration have been coming, they are making leaps emphasis on it. But I think he is more pragmatic on it, as he laid emphasis on it now. But you have to realize that the Ajaokuta steel is not going to start from embryo. It has gotten to a stage before it was moribund. So now what he's going to do now is to resuscitate it. So by resuscitating it, all the manpower needed, the capacity and capability needed, he knows them. Just to ask them to come back. And once it is top on his agenda, so if it's top of on his agenda, it's going to lay emphasis on it, and the thing will be prosecuted.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The Pharmaceutical Science of Nigeria, PSN, has disclosed that there are over 2 million unregistered pharmaceutical premises and 35 open drug markets across the country, making Nigeria a fertile ground for fake and substandard drug products. Disclosing this in Lagos during a press conference, the pharmacist also expressed displeasure over Nigeria's loss of over 6,000 pharmacies to brain drain in the last 6 years, while according to PSN, more are preparing to leave. They further lamented that despite the dire situation, there is no substantive registrar for the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, PCN, the regulatory body that could curtail the excesses and abuses of some unregistered pharmaceutical premises. You're watching Global TV's News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using a Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. We'll be back with more stories for you after the short break. Please don't go away. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's still Global Television bringing you a live broadcast of the News Prime from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On the foreign scene, where Israel strikes in Gaza overnight and early Monday have killed at least 70 people. Hamas officials said, as the military stated that it had struck some 320 targets in the Palestinian enclave in 24 hours. The Hamas-controlled government media office in the block blockade Gaza Strip said in a statement that more than 60 persons were killed in the Israel's raid during the night, including 17 who were killed in a single strike that hit a house in Jabalia in northern Gaza. At least 10 other people were killed in new strikes on Monday morning, the media office said in a separate statement, bringing the overall toll since Sunday night to at least 70 deaths. Israel has warned more than 1 million residents in northern Gaza to move south for their safety, and the United Nations says more than half of the territory, 2.4 million population, is now displaced. As well, the World Health Organization, WHO, has urged Israel to withdraw its evacuation order for hospitals in northern Gaza. WHO spokesman Tarek Jazarevic said on Monday that there are patients there and cannot be moved, adding that many of them are on mechanical ventilators. He also noted that there are newborns on incubators as well as people in unstable condition, and it's very difficult to move them. So far, 4 trucks carrying surgical and dressing materials as well as medicines for chronic illnesses have been brought into Gaza through the Rafah border crossing. The spokesman said more trucks are ready on Egypt's side, but so far there are no security guarantees that the supplies can be brought in. Still on the foreign scene, where the European Union on Monday took a legal step towards imposing sanctions on Niger's new military rulers who overthrew the democratically elected leader in July. The 27-nation bloc has condemned the ouster of Niger President Mohamed Bazoum, who toppled a key Western partner in the jihadist hit region. The EU announced it had adopted a legal framework under which it can now sanction individuals and entities responsible for actions that threaten the peace, stability and security of Niger. The EU has already suspended security cooperation and financial support with Niger following the military takeover. Former colonial power France is currently pulling out a 1,500-strong military deployment to the Sahel country after a demand from Niger's new rulers. The Spanish police said on Monday they have seized centuries-old gold artifacts worth over 60 million euros that were stolen and taken out of Ukraine illegally. The 11 pieces, including necklaces, bracelets and earrings, were displayed at the Kyiv Museum between 2009 and 2013 and were smuggled out of Ukraine before 2016. The seized pieces, gold jewelry of great historic and economic value, had been stolen and exported illegally from Ukraine and were going to be sold in Madrid, the statement added, noting items were dated from between the 8th and 4th century BC. The 3 Spanish and 2 Ukrainian nationals, one of them an Orthodox church priest, were arrested as part of the operation, which was carried out with the help of the authority in Ukraine as well as Albania, Bulgaria, Cyprus and North Macedonia. Police said the artifact had forged documents in English, Ukrainian and Spanish to make it look as if they belonged to the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Police began their investigation in 2021 after one of the pieces, a gold belt with ram's head, was sold to a businessman in a private sale in Madrid. This led investigators to the other 10 artifacts, and police says last month from the suspect. The pieces are being studied by Spain's National Archaeological Museum and the country's Cultural Heritage Institute. The federal government on Sunday announced that it's attracted over $2 billion in investments in the renewable energy sector over the past decade. It announced this through the Rural Electrification Agency, REA, adding that in advancing this achievement, it's established partnership with the World Bank, Global Alliance for People and Planet Rocky Mountain Institute, and Japan International Cooperation Agency, and others. The Director of Promotion and Outreach, Motari Ibrahim, who disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja, said from 2020 to date, REA has provided power to over 7.5 million people, including 1.5 million households, delivering 130 mini-grid projects, including 1.3 million standalone home system. The agency has equally deployed over 1,650 kilometers of solar street lights, improving power, security, and economic growth in rural areas. The federal government agency stated that in 2022, as part of the National Poverty Reduction and Growth Strategy Program, the RIA secured an additional 4 billion naira in capital injection grants. It said the grants were to provide clean power standalone home system to over 50,000 locations, including rural homes, micro businesses, schools, and faith-based institutions. As well, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has communicated plans to develop cost-effective housing designs and promotes the construction of quality and affordable housing for Nigeria. He said the plan will cater to the housing needs of 80% of low and medium income earners in the country. The minister made this known when he received the leadership of the Nigeria Institute of Quantity Surveyors led by its president, Shonobi Olayemi, at the ministry's headquarters recently. Shonobi noted that an affordable housing design committee was created within his first week in office to develop more efficient design options to meet the income profiles of Nigerians within that bracket. And now on sports, LeBron James heads into 21st season in the NBA revenues than ever as he looks to lead the Los Angeles Lakers to a record-breaking 18th championship. James, 38, finished last season in a casual mood, hitting an possible retirement after the Lakers were comprehensively beaten by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. However, a summer of rest and a reloaded roster has left James Berman with optimism as the Lakers launch a new season with a demanding road game in Denver on Tuesday. As well, Manchester United are expected to pay further tribute to Bobby Charlton ahead of Tuesday's night Champions League match at Old Trafford. The United Trinity searches outside the ground was awash with tributes to Charlton on Sunday as supporters laid flowers and scarves, with many leaving deeply personal thought for one of the club's most famous sons following his death aged 86. A book of condolence was opened at the International Suite inside the stadium, while current boss Erik ten Hag and members of the United squad added their messages at Carrington. United confirmed discussions were continuing to make place with Charlton's family and UEFA for further commemorative plans ahead of Tuesday's night's Champions League Group A match against Copenhagen. It is expected players will wear black armbands with words to be laid on the Old Trafford pitch and a minute silence observed ahead of kickoff. And for more updates on sports, let's now join Sharon Ajay.
Remo Stars have gone top of this season's Nigerian Premier Football League following the conclusion of match day for last night. Remo Stars defeated visiting Sporting Lagos 2-1 at the Ikene Stadium to move up to 9 points on the league table, one more than Lobby Stars. Sporting Lagos got the opening goal in the 21st minute, courtesy of a goal from Jonathan Aluku, but the Lagos-based team couldn't maintain the lead for too long before they conceded a goal in the 31st minute through a strike by Frank Mawuna. Remo Stars stamped their authority on the game and took the lead in the 53rd minute via a spot kick which was beautifully converted by veteran NPFL star Sikiru Alimi. Meanwhile, Eyimba of Aba have started their campaign in the inaugural African Football League on a losing note. Eyimba lost their first leg match 0-1 to Wydad Casablanca of Morocco last night at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo and will now have to win in Morocco to get through to the semi-finals. The only goal of the match came from the first half penalty, with Yahya Jabrin expertly converting from the spot past Eyimba captain and goalkeeper Ojo Olorunleke in the 39th minute. Two-time African champions Eyimba now face an uphill task against the North Africans in reverse fixture in Morocco on Wednesday. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
That's it on Global TV News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Judith Peters. Thank you so very much for watching. You have a wonderful night.